Good evening, students, and welcome back to Hexxit Education. My name is Kankadia, and welcome to Lesson 3. For this lesson, we're going to be talking about storage blocks, and that's going to include chests, display cases, tool racks, bookcases, and while some of those words may sound kind of familiar, some of them may not. I assure you that the ones that do sound familiar are actually not familiar, and I'll explain exactly why in just a few minutes. I just want to take a minute to explain why we're talking about storage blocks in the same keeping as the reason that I talked about Tinker's Construct to begin with, and our previous episode we talked about backpacks. I want to try and get you acclimated towards the more basic elements of Minecraft. By basic I mean elements around building a base. And once you start mining, you start collecting things, possibly start doing a couple of dungeons, which you probably shouldn't do yet because you don't have enough equipment, but that's just me being a little bit mother hen. So once you start doing all those wonderful things, you will want to bring back your loot. And I'm going to show you some ways to store and display those using Hexxit. Now Hexxit has more a half dozen different mods that contribute towards storage blocks. I'm going to try and go through all of them that are available and show you some examples of what you can do with each type of storage. Okay, first I'm going to, and Kankadia said, "Let there not be rain," and there was no rain. So our first step is to our library. Immediately located across the street from our classroom. Here we are. Okay, so first and foremost, we have these. These are storage crates. They're from Better Storage, and one of the things that makes them separate from other kinds of storage systems is, one, they are stackable. You notice this is in a 2x2 cube, and as far as I can tell, you can only operate these devices when they're in cube format. You can't do, for example, a 3 in a row, and you can't do 3 high. However, you can do 3x3 or 2x2 in this case. Another thing you'll notice when you click on them is right now I only have two kinds of items in there. I have cobblestone and I have dirt, and I did this for a reason. Storage crates can only display basically the how do I put this? They can only display a certain amount of the items that are in them. For instance, if this was not cobblestone and dirt, if this was, say, an assortment of all different items, one for each slot, and if it was more than this, because this is only representing one double chest worth, and you saw 3 crates over there, each of which is equal to a chest, so there should be 4 worth, but it's only displaying 2. See the disconnect there? And the reason is that since storage crates can't display all the different item types that are displayed in them, I highly recommend you use storage crates only for sort of long-term mass storage, things like cobblestone and dirt, like building materials. I would not recommend you put anything precious in the larger storage crates. If you do a 1x2, that's just a double storage crate, it'll be perfectly fine. But any more than that, and you run the risk of having to empty it of all of those items in order to access the ones that are sort of behind it in a way. One other thing that's very useful to note, notice in the upper right corner there is an indicator. That indicates how much storage capacity that this particular unit has remaining. Right now I'm only using about a third of it, and you'll see I have just under a double chest worth of cobblestone and dirt. Now, another reason I decided to put cobblestone and dirt there is you'll notice that when you look at a normal chest in Hexxit, as with these, you have this. These are the inventory tweaks controls, and they're used to alphabetize and sort the items that you have. However, this does not work on storage crates. All you have is just the indicator. So bear that in mind when you're using storage crates to store your items. Okay, let's see. So next up is the reinforced chest. And right now I have a gold reinforced chest and an iron reinforced chest. And you make these. If I can turn back to recipe mode. Okay, so iron reinforced chest is made with iron chest and just some pieces of wood and a block of iron. So not an insignificant amount, but believe me, it's worth it. The double single chest, as you know, has only well, take a look. The reinforced chest has 12 more slots than a normal chest. Another thing is that you can take two different types of reinforced chests and put them side by side. And if they're not the same type, you can just put them side by side. It won't fail to do so, just like with a regular chest where you have to put the gap in between. However, you can put, I've got a couple here, you can put them side by side each other and they will create double chests. However, they cannot be extended to make 3. The normal rules will still apply. But you'll notice this is much larger than a regular chest. You pay a little bit more for it, but you get more storage space. And of course, reinforced chests, just like the storage crates, are not affected by inventory tweaks. So anything you put in there, you have to manage yourself. You can't do the automatic organization like I showed you with the ordinary chest. So, but by and large, I would say that these are definitely worth it. And another thing you can do, I'll show you in a minute, is you can combine these with labels and also the item frames you're familiar with. Just shift, right-click on it to add the frame on the top, and just access it that way, let you know what's inside it. One of the main benefits of reinforced chests is that they are practically indestructible. As far as I can tell. I'm just going to illustrate this for you now. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Indestructible. However, you can use a pickaxe, not a pickaxe, an axe, to transport the reinforced iron chest. Not a pickaxe. That won't do anything. Another thing about these is that, like I said, they're indestructible. So if you put this next to a creeper, it will not be destroyed, unlike some of these other ones. One thing to note is that unlike some other mods that sometimes when you put different materials on them to augment the chest, it may increase the size to saying that an iron is not as good as a diamond. This is not the case in the better storage reinforced chest. The gold reinforced chest has exactly as much storage capacity as an iron reinforced chest. It is just a matter of aesthetics. Okay, so moving on, well, we come on to the display case, and you can see here I've got a couple of books in here. These are items from Bibliocraft, and these are similar to item frames with a couple of exceptions. If you notice, as I'm moving, the model actually sort of turns. This is very much like the rows that's on my desk in our classroom. You can see it over here as well. They kind of turn to face you, kind of like some of those creepy paintings you see at times. But in order to open these, you don't click on them, it doesn't do anything, or right click, that doesn't do anything. You shift right click, that will open it, and you take an open hand and put it back in like that, and shift right click to open and close it. This is actually very useful for putting things like trophies, and although I wouldn't necessarily put trophy heads in them though, because it doesn't look quite as impressive as having a head on your wall. But if, I don't know, for example, you found a really good sword and you already had a really good one, this might not be a bad place to put it if you don't want to put it in a sword pedestal. So these come in all 4 different wood types. There you go. We got oak, spruce, birch, and jungle, and you can see the lining changes too. So red, green, black, and that's just dependent upon what kind of wool that you use to make them. See, just oak slabs, glass, and wool. Simple as that. Okay, next on our list. Oh, well, one other quick note. You can actually mount these either horizontally or vertically. So right now I have them vertically on the wall. You can also put them horizontally, like on a surface or a table. It's up to you. So if you want to make it like a jeweler's shop and you want some display cases, I recommend using these. So next, the tool racks. These are from Better Storage, and these are somewhat similar to the shelves that I'll show you in a minute. The exception being that you can easily right-click on an item and get it back in your inventory. So let's say you have in your crafting area, you want access to I don't know, if they say you want to split a coconut in your kitchen, you reach up, right click, I got a light glitch there, reach up, right click on the weapon you want and pick it up. This does not work with all of the all weapons. In fact, it only works, hang on, let's double check this, look at my notes. Yes, it only holds 4 tools, and you're looking at, we have an axe, a pickaxe, sword, and a shovel. This will not, I believe, hold certain other kinds of weapons. I believe it only works with vanilla materials. So you can also put a hoe on there. You can also put, I believe, well, any of the other vanilla items. And again, it comes in the 4 different types of wood, same as on the display case. Okay, so moving on, we have the bookcase. Now, in the middle, you will see a normal bookcase. This is one right out of vanilla. I put out right here. But to your left and right, these are Bibliocraft bookcases. Main difference: these bookcases, the normal ones, as you know, take three books and 6 wood planks in order to craft them. These bookcases, on the other hand, if I can pull this up, take oak planks and wood slabs. Whereas the books you add, well, if you right click on one of them, you'll see these are actually full of books, and you can actually stack them. So you could theoretically put, what is this, 2, 4, 6, 8 times 2, that's 16 stacks of books if you wanted to in there. Or you can just put 16 normal books. Now the difference is that, well, I mean, mostly it's aesthetic. I mean, look at this. It's a little bit thinner. It has the same thickness as the tool shelf there. So if you don't want to necessarily have a block for something, it looks very nice. They do function the same way as a bookshelf, though, with one exception. You'll see here there's a torch in front of this one. Let's say theoretically, if you are working on an enchanting table, you have a full enchanting table set out, but you're running into a patch of bad luck. You don't have a lot of levels to work with. You cannot, on the regular ones, take a torch and put it on top of the bookcase. It will just give you this. So yeah, I mean, shift clicking is not working. So if you put these next to an enchanting table, you will always get the maximum amount of levels. Unlike with the regular bookcase. I recommend these the most, other than for aesthetic, because they are quite nice, come in all 4 colors. I recommend these if you happen to find quite a few enchanted books on your travels, and believe me, you'll find quite a few. In one of my previous Hexxit maps, I had an enchanting table that was suspended over a small pond, and on the edges of the table, so roughly this big or so, I had these shelves. I had maybe 20 of them full of different enchanting books. And of course, enchanting books, unlike regular books, do not stack, so you only be able to put 16 each. But 16 is better than only the 4 that I was using before. And this brings us over to these shelves. Now, these are very useful items because you can put anything you want on them. I have books at the moment, but you just right-click here, get in your inventory. You right-click with an empty hand, you get access to the GUI. You can put any kind of item in there that you want, and it will show up. And if you wanted to pick it up, just right click on it. Easy as that. Next, I'm going to show you just briefly. You've seen this in our previous episode when we had the backpacks. This is an armor stand. Now there are actually 2 different types of armor stands. Okay, here's how you tell them apart. The one that if you right click on it, you get a GUI. That's the one from Bibliocraft. which I think is in most ways the superior one. This is the one from Better Storage. If you right click on this, it doesn't do anything. Now, what you can do with this is if you click on the individual pieces of it, it will switch with what you currently have on. So it's theoretically a little faster for quickly suiting up. But I find this one is more useful because you can actually sort of mix and match which ones you want, and you can put stuff in your inventory into here instead of what you're actually wearing. So remember, the one that has the GUI is one from Bibliocraft. The one that does not is from Better Storage. I recommend the one from Bibliocraft, which is the same you get these shelves and everything from. Okay, next up is the... Okay, we did armor stands, we did shelves. Potion shelves. Here we go. And these are kind of fun. If you look this way, they do kind of tilt towards you in a way, but it's hardly noticeable because of the high sides. And these work just like the other shelves. With one important exception. You right click on them, you will just get access to the GUI, but if you shift right click, you will pick up the individual potion. Now what I have here is all the same thing. These are all awkward potions, but you can put any kind of potions that you want in there, and you have easy access to them. This is very useful in a brewing area, and we actually have a similar setup on our second floor science lab in our potion brewing station, which we'll get to in a future episode. Very useful. Also comes in the 4 colors, very similar to the shells, but made specifically for potions. And as far as I can tell, you can use all 3 potion types that are available in Hexxit in these. That's the ones from Vanilla, from Project Zulu, and from third one I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Okay, so next up is labels. Okay, and they are right here. This is a wooden label. Let's grab it out here for a second. And just as simple as that. And you make it relatively easily. Comes in four different colors, same as the other ones. Just need 6 of those slabs. It seems like a lot for one label, but for what this does, it's very useful. You just click on there, and if you want to put it onto a chest, you just shift right click on it, and it's fine like that. Or if you wanted to put it on, for example, one of the reinforced chests that we used before, just like that. Now, what this does, unlike item frames, is allows you to put, you can see here, 3 different items. I've got dirt block and 2 cobblestone pieces to indicate that I have dirt and cobblestone in the chest. Now, you can put it on top of here, you can put it on the side, whichever your filing system happens to be. But the key is that these are 3 times as useful as item frames, a little bit smaller to see, but once you realize you're able to put not just one item to sort of give yourself a key as to what's in there, but 3 of them, you'll find it's definitely a time saver. One thing I've noticed though is it does not work with all items. Like it works with the cobblestone materials here. I was not able to sort of investigate what it does and doesn't work with, but I found in general most weapons and tools will not function with it. So let me just try with a sword. Empty hand. Put that in here, and see, I put that in, and it gives me the single like that. But I believe if I were to put 2, yeah, see, look there, it's actually sticking out a little bit. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's some where it doesn't work nearly as well. Like sides or most things from Tinker's Contract doesn't quite look as good. My recommendation is to stick to vanilla materials, but your preference is your own. Okay, so moving on to the moving on to that thing. All right, so there's a couple here which are a little bit odd, and this is one of them. There's a thing in Hexxit called the box, and you make it simply by putting a stick with 4 planks of any type, and you get 16 of these boxes. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a couple items to illustrate this. Okay, so you make a box, very cheap to make. You put it... Oh, wait, what's it doing? Oh crap, I can't do anything. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to go over to a crafting table. Take the box, put it in the center, and... Oh, wait, what's it doing? I can't put dirt in there. Oh, wait, no. I can only put 8 of the exact same item into here. 8 stacks. No, not even that. 8 single items of the same item into a box. See, amount 8. So you take that, and what happened to it? Oh yeah, I got the items back. See, they're back in there. However, the box broke. So if you right-click on the box, you get the items back, but the box is destroyed in the process, and you can't place it on the ground. You have to keep it in your inventory. So from my perspective, this thing is pretty freaking useless. The only thing I can think of might be a good use for it is as a loot crate. If you wanted to put 8 individual things and put them in here and give it to somebody as a present. But other than that, it is completely useless for storage. This is an item that I would not recommend, but it is in the game, so if you're curious about this particular storage item, you can certainly make it. It's cheap to make and breaks just as easily. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about are, I have a couple in my inventory, but I'm going to show you the ones over here. And these are, I can open it, there you go. These are chest transporters. These are kind of useful little things. What you can do with them is basically what it sounds like. Right click, and you're afflicted with hunger, slowness, fatigue, and jump boost on a continuous basis. So you can't move very fast with it, which kind of makes sense in a way. And you just right click again, and there it is. Now I already had another one in my inventory, but you'll notice that the one I just used just broke. That's right. These are single-use transportation tools. So right-click again, and move it over here. Single use. That's it. However, these are pretty cheap to make. I was in recipe mode. Yep. All you need is just some sticks. For those of you who've played Feed the Beast, this is basically the same design for a scoop minus the wool in the middle. So it's just sort of a wrench shape, way I put it. But very useful. I mean, it's cheap, but you know, it saves you the headache of having to transfer stuff from a chest when you want to move bases or demolish a wall or anything. So useful little item. I would definitely recommend using it when you get a chance, and maybe having a couple spare. Maybe keep them in a handsome display case like this. Okay, so that's it for today. We've talked about the various storage devices that are available in Hexxit. I hope you use this information to make your base as well organized as possible. Hope to see you on our next lesson. Class dismissed.